Terence Crawford and Virgil Ortiz.
It could be Crawford. I talked to Terence yesterday.
Okay.
He's been around for a couple of days. He's waiting, but not waiting on a particular person. He's taking care of his business. He just got to just hope that it breaks for the fans.
I don't need nobody to do nothing for me, nigga. I'm busting for me.
What's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. And we are back for another one. Alright, y'all. We got a new topic. Terence Crawford's planned 2-fight deal for Charlo and Errol Spence Jr. could end with body shots. Alright, y'all. So, we're getting close, man. We're getting close to something. Either we're getting close to this fight actually happening, or we're getting close to this fight not happening at all. And Terence Crawford moving up to 154 pounds, according to him. Now, will he actually make this move to 154? I think it depends, because I don't think he can make the move without having this Spence fight. Because if he makes the move without having this Spence fight and goes up and has a bad showing against Charlo, then you best believe there isn't going to be a Spence fight. Now, let's say he does go up. He does not fight Spence. He moves up. He fights Charlo. Let's say he wins. Does he remain at 154 and campaign there because he's had success against the highest level of competition? Or does he come back down to 147, try to fight, try to make the fight with Spence, or try to fight Boots or Virgil or some, it confuses things at that point. So I don't feel like he can make that jump without first fighting Errol Spence Jr. Now, let's say he doesn't make the jump without fighting Errol Spence Jr. There is a high probability that this fight is going to end off of body shots. Now, there's a high probability he tries to go up to 154 and fight a Charlo, or perhaps he doesn't get the Charlo fight immediately, but tries to challenge somebody else at 154. And they end the fight with body shots because he's not used to taking punches from such a high weight class, a higher weight. He's not even used to taking punches from the best 147 fighters yet. So, I'm not convinced that he can go up to 154 and campaign there and give an actual good showing unless he's tested himself. He hasn't been fully tested at 147 yet, so I'm definitely not sold on 154. I do feel like Spence is gearing up for a showdown with Terence Crawford, and in that showdown, I think his game plan is to tire Crawford out, to break Crawford down with body shots, and to eventually get Crawford out of there with a body shot. Now, he might knock him out cold. He might catch him with something, shot to the chin, knock him out cold. That could be a possibility. He is the more powerful of those two fighters. That's not counting Terence Crawford out. That's not meaning that Terence Crawford can't put together a nice combination and perhaps stun Spence with something. I don't see it happening because I think Terence Crawford is going with the wrong game plan, a game plan of attempting to bulk up and go blow for blow with Errol Spence Jr. I think a blow for blow type of strategy is the wrong strategy for him to go with, because he's the type of guy, and you could tell off of this whole Trey Songz or whatever Trey Songz incident, he does have a quick temper. He has an attitude problem. He probably sort of like myself. I don't like people trying to flodge talk me or floss talk me or boss talk me. None of that. You're trying to overstand me with your mouth. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And not to say Terence Crawford got to take it because he's a celebrity, but when you're a celebrity, you're going to get that from all kinds of people. You're not the richest guy in the room when you go to these celebrity parties, so you're going to have a lot of floss talk, a lot of boss talk, a lot of over talk, where there probably shouldn't be any over talk because you are a professional fighter and he's a professional singer. But, the problem with that is, and the problem with having a quick temper or a quick attitude is that when it's time for you to think your way out of something, you're trying to anger your way out of things, or fight your way out of them, when you should be thinking your way out of them. So if there's ever a situation that Errol Spence puts him in, or Charlo for that matter, in case he sidesteps the Spence fight and goes straight to Charlo, if either one of those guys were to get him in a compromising position, Terence Crawford, instead of trying to think his way out of it, is going to try to physically get his way out of it. And you're messing around with bigger, stronger guys, so you might think in your head, or you might have it in your head, well, if I land this combination, it might stop them. If I do this, it might throw them off. But in actuality, you should have been doing that instead of this. And doing that might just anger the bigger fighter and force him to put something heavy onto your chin and knock you out. So, you know, guys like Terence Crawford, fighters like Terence Crawford, quick to snap type people like Terence Crawford, usually end up in bad situations when they meet a bully that they can't bully. You know, sometimes you can bully a bully by just standing up for yourself, being a man, fighting back. But sometimes the bully isn't really a bully, they're just better than you. So it might be a situation where he's thinking that, well, this guy is bigger than me, stronger than me, but he's only better than me if he bullies me mentally. Where he might just be better than you. He might just be bigger and stronger than you, and it has nothing to do with his bully mentality. It could just be he's better than you are. And in those situations, you need to think your way into a victory, not physically try to fight your way to a victory. So, me personally, I think when he does get in the ring with either Spence or Charlo, there's a very high probability, 90-10, that he loses, and that he loses because of body shots. That is the breakdown power that they're putting on his body that ends up losing him the fight. Not that they hit him on the chin with something flush and cold knock him out, but they have accumulated a lot of body shots throughout the fight that Terence Crawford has never been used to taking. Listen to him, he never had to worry about body shots at 130 or 140 because guys don't swing that hard at 130 and 140. Now there's some knockout punchers at those weight classes, but there's no breakdown fighters at those weight classes. You usually don't get into breakdown fighting until you hit 147 to 154 or 160. As you move up, then body blows become more prevalent. At 130, 140, guys are usually catching you with something you don't see on the chin and knocking you out. But at 147, 154, 160, guys are trying to, because they are bigger and they're not trying to tire themselves out, they're more focused on breaking your body down physically, and they're stronger, so they have the power to break you down physically quicker. And I don't think Terence Crawford is focused on that. I think he's thinking that Errol Spence is going into this fight looking to knock him out cold, and that is the wrong game plan. That's the wrong game plan for Errol Spence, and to try to go toe to toe with Errol Spence is the wrong game plan for Terence Crawford. Hit that like button for me, share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, but you're more than likely to get a response on the tubes, so holler at me over there if you want a response. It's your boy Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. I'm done rambling, and we are mighty.
I can sell dope out any apartment in my hood, cause that's where they love me.